It's Wednesday. Wednesday is our gentle restorative yoga flow day of the week. And as you can see, we're ready for Christmas already. It's 2020. We want joy. So I have my Christmas mug and my morning coffee. My upstairs is decorated. My downstairs is decorated. And that's the whole point of this year, is that everything is so flipped and so unusual and so upside down that we're just gonna do whatever it is we can do to bring peace, to bring a little bit of joy, and to just get through it, hoping that the winter isn't as bad as we have been warned, and hoping to stay safe and healthy and sane. So take a sip of coffee and talk about this week's mudra that I introduced on Monday, the Kanishtha Sharira Mudra. The Kanishtha Sharira Mudra is a mudra. It's called the gesture of the lower body. It is to help us connect with everything below the heart chakra. That's our solar plexus, our sacral chakra, our root chakra. So that which is physically in the bottom half of the body. And it's to help us to deepen our breath into the lowest parts of our lungs. And when we utilize the breath in this way, it has a lot of wonderful benefits. One, of course, is really teaching us to maximize the use of our lungs. And this is really important in yoga. And honestly, it's really important in many activities. I am a flute player for joy, not a professional, but doing this much yoga as I do 5-6 days a week really, really helps my lung capacity, which is important for a wind instrument. There may be other activities in your life where harnessing the ability to harness your breath and really maximize your breath is really important. So this is a great mudra for really, it de-stresses us anytime we engage in deep breathing, but when we can really engage in our deepest breathing and really maximize our breath, there is just so much that we can do physically. So that's one part of it. Another part of it is it aids in digestion in the lower part of the body. So today you're going to see twisting poses that match this, because twisting poses help things kind of move down, and a healthy digestive system is a healthy body. Not talked about often enough how very important it is for our health to have a digestive system that facilitates the movement of our food from mouth all the way to the tail. So that's another feature of it. Releasing tension from the lower back. Well, that makes perfect sense to me. If we're releasing tension in here, we're not holding it back here. Instilling some equanimity and centering ourselves and building a sense of confidence. So when I introduced this mudra last week, or Monday, sorry, I also returned to the breath of fire. We've done this in the past, but it's a heat building breath, and heat building breaths are cleansing. So if you combine a heat building breath with the idea that this mudra helps cleanse the digestive system, so you are engaging in a cleansing breath that facilitates. And then when you match that with twisting poses, then you even maximize it even more. So we're going to do that as well this morning, just introducing you to that. I realize this is a gentle class, but the breath of fire is a really great breath. It's also a good breath to help you get your mind in the place ready to meditate, because it will help clear everything that's up here so that when you go to meditate, your body is ready. It's ready to just settle in. I'm going to move my coffee off to the side. I'm going to move my mudra card off to the side. And I invite you to sit on top of a block or a bolster. I sit on this wonderful meditation pillow that was prepared by a friend. But what I want you to take note of is, what does it do to my back? Notice how I'm able to bring my heart center up and bring my shoulders back and down, allowing them to stack in alignment with my hips. And then the last step is bringing the head back in the same plane as my back body. And so when we do that, we are really facilitating beautiful spinal alignment and posture. And a lot of the pain that people have, wherever it is in their body, comes from posture. And a lot of our posture is learned. It's habits we have formed. So one of the intentions I'm going to invite you to engage in this week is asking yourself, what is my posture throughout the day, when you're standing, when you're sitting, when you're working at your desk, when you're cleaning your dishes at the sink, when you're cooking. We tend to kind of roll in a little bit and lean into whatever it is we're doing. And that creates a lot of tension on the neck, the upper back, and by extension, it keeps on moving down the spine. So a lot of times hip problems or lower back issues are actually connected to what's happening up here too. So I invite you to sit nice and tall and close your eyes if you wish, and go ahead and start to breathe in and out of your nose, connecting with your breath. As you breathe in and out, what I want you to do is really concentrate on doing belly breathing. Try not to involve your chest at all. You can place your hand on your belly to identify it. So as you inhale, the belly will expand. And as you exhale, you will draw the belly in. Inhale, expand. Exhale, draw the belly in. Inhale, expand. Exhale, draw the belly in. Inhale, expand. Now, as you're breathing, I really invite you to develop some self-awareness of where your crown of your head, your heart center, and your shoulders are while you're breathing. As you're engaging in this belly breathing, are you continuing to maintain that beautiful, tall, straight spine? Start to widen your breath, expand your belly even more. And I would like you to think of breath sort of in the opposite way that we often speak of breath. We often talk about, when we breathe in, growing our breath to the crown of our head. And as we breathe out, descending it all the way down to the ground. So I would like you to reverse that. As you breathe in, I would like you to imagine or envision that you are drawing the breath deep into the lungs. And as you exhale, you are pushing it up and out. Really engage in somewhat forceful breathing to draw it into your lower lungs. Let's do that one more time. And let's take a pause. So you may have heard breath on my microphone. So I was engaging in the Ujjayi breath. And to create the Ujjayi breath, we constrict the back of our throat slightly, creating the letter H sound with our pursed closed lips. It can also be called the Darth Vader breath because it might create that sound like you hear Darth Vader make when he's breathing. That is a heat building breath. And when we build heat, we facilitate healthy digestion. So let's practice that deep breathing again. And if you haven't done the Ujjayi breath, I invite you to do so. Let's do one more cycle. Go ahead and relax a little bit. Open up your eyes. Maybe take some observation in how you're feeling right now. Sometimes when we do this really forceful breathing, we discover that we've really opened up all of our energy channels and breathing channels. Let's go ahead and raise up our hands. Now we're going to do a little bit of the breath of fire. So go ahead and inhale fully. Exhale, bring your belly in 3/4. And then I want you to force your breath in by drawing your diaphragm in and imagine that you're trying to blow out a candle using your breath out of your mouth or out of your nose. But this breath is best out of your nose. So inhale fully. Exhale 3/4, drawing the belly in. And then start. We'll do it 10 times. Release. Take an inhale, nice cleansing breath. And then fully exhale. When you do this breath, make sure you're drawing your shoulders back and down and still allowing your heart center to lift up. It's really a natural experience to kind of start to curl down into it as you engage these abdominal muscles to force your breath out. But I encourage you to stay up taller, and trust me, it actually makes it an easier breath to engage in. Inhale your hands up again. Exhale fully. Inhale 3/4. Or I'm sorry, inhale fully. Exhale 3/4. And then start 10 times. Release. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale the hands up, final round. Inhale fully. Exhale 3/4. And start 10 times. And release. Take an inhale. And take an exhale. Now, we didn't do, normally when I do the breath of fire with people, or I usually will go 10, 20, 30, and maybe even longer if we're really focusing on the practice, focusing on this breath in the practice rather. So we might even do three rounds of 30, which is really kind of an ab working exercise. But this gives you a nice introduction into it. And sometimes the experience that people have with this is that because you are so fully oxygenating your extremities and your brain and your sinuses, that you might feel a couple of things. One, like a sudden lightness. Everything is a little lifted, a little lighter. You might feel a little bit of a buzzing sensation, a little tingling in your extremities. But almost every time I feel like I have really opened up my breathing channels and really made my breathing more efficient. It's a wonderful breath to engage in if you are cold. We're heading into winter, although it doesn't look very wintry right now, but my Christmas lights are beautiful. But it is a breath that if you are doing yoga outside, and we might still be trying to do yoga outside throughout the winter, that's a way to warm up the body even more than just engaging in movement. Starting off with some breathing that really brings rich oxygen to all of the body really helps. So let's go ahead, inhale our hands overhead. Exhale our hands out and down. Inhale our hands out and up. Exhale our hands out and down. And let's inhale our hands out and up again. And exhale, bring hands to heart center. And before we go on with the rest of our routine, I want to show you this mudra. So just go ahead and fold out your hands so that just your fingertips are touching and your thumbs are facing towards your body. And what you'll do is you'll inhale down and exhale back up. Inhale down, exhale back up, inhale down, exhale back up, inhale, pushing the breath down, exhale, bring it back up to the chest, and then one final inhale down, and exhale back up. So for those who may not have seen this, in this gesture, I have my two fingertips together, my thumbs facing towards the body. My forearms are parallel to the floor. Right now, I've got my arm all the way up near my collarbones. And on the inhale, I push my hands down to my lower extremities, still keeping my fingers engaged. And on the exhale, I bring my hands back up. And this is a gesture to remind us of the movement of the breath into the lowest part of the lungs. Okay, so why don't we go ahead, take one more inhale up, and then on your exhale, I'm going to go ahead and remove my pillow. On your exhale, go ahead and walk your hands forward. Go ahead and keep your arms bent and just focus on drawing the crown of your head forward, drawing your shoulders back and down, allowing your heart center to float forward. You can place your elbows on the mat if you want. You can leave your hands off the mat if you want, and just focus on that forward motion. Right now, we're just beginning to open up our back right hip if our right foot is in front of our left. If it's the opposite way, then it would be your back left hip. Okay, let's continue to draw your heart forward. Try to keep your back as straight as possible. Inhale, rise up. Walking our hands back, let's change the orientation of our feet. So my left foot is in front. It doesn't really matter which of your foot is in front or in the back, just knowing that that foot is going to be the guide to which hip gets the stretch. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, start to lean forward, place your hands on the floor. And I'm placing my elbows down today, but you can leave your arms straight. And again, just drawing the crown of your head forward, drawing your heart center forward so that you can stretch out your back of your hip. One more inhale, and then exhale, rise up. Go ahead and walk that back. I'm going to take my blocks and I'm going to move them to either side of my mat because they're going to come into play when we do our sun salutation. Let's go ahead, moving over to the center of our mat. So you can choose whichever side you're going to be on. I have this round mat, so I like to turn in whatever orientation works well for the viewers. So, but you can imagine that I'm towards the short side of the top of the mat and my feet are towards the back side of the short side of the back of the mat. So, but you can turn your mat in any direction that works well for you. So go ahead, inhale, we're going to drop into cow. So inhale, your heart center up, drop your belly, lift up your sit bones. And then on your exhale, go ahead and reverse that, curling your back up to the ceiling into cat. Inhale, widen your collarbones as you bring your heart center up. You can open up your throat if you want. And then on the exhale, reverse that, drawing your back up to the ceiling into cat. Inhale, drop the belly, lift up the sits bones, drawing up your heart center. And then exhale, reverse that. And let's do that one more time. Inhale, raise up the heart center, draw your shoulders back and down as you drop your belly and lift up your sits bones. And then exhale, reversing that order. Let's go ahead and make sure that we've organized our hands and our legs so that we are well aligned with our hands directly underneath our shoulders and our knees directly underneath our hips. Let's engage in a little bit of hip or wrist stretching to encourage the health of our wrists. So go ahead, turn your hands around if that's available to you. If this is difficult for you, you can place something underneath your wrist if you want. Like you could take a short block, or you can take your cushion and you can place your hands on top of that. If you don't want to engage in twisting your arms around, that's totally okay too. So right now, my hips are facing forward to the top of the mat, and I've got my knees stacked underneath my hips. You can have them that way, or you can bring them together. And I just want to invite you to tuck your toes and just lean back ever so slightly to start to stretch out the wrist. So you'll see that my arms are straight, my hands are pointed backwards, and I'm getting a stretch all the way from my wrist to the inside of the elbow. I actually kind of feel it more towards the inside of the joint of the elbow, not the midline of the arm. But our wrists do a lot of work, and a lot of us type all day, do a lot of writing, so this is one way to exercise them. You can release that. You don't have to do this for long. And then let's do the same thing on the front. Now, you might choose to do one at a time or both. It's really dependent on your wrist. Let's do one at a time today. So place all of your weight on your right arm, and then place the upside part, the bony part of your hand down on the mat with your palm facing the ceiling. And then just the same thing, just kind of lean backwards. Don't go very far until you feel a satisfying stretch in your wrist. The weight is not in my wrist, it is in my right hand. So you're just stretching the wrist. You are not trying to put weight on those delicate bones of the wrist. Go ahead and release out of that. Place your left hand down and then turn your right hand in that same orientation as the left, with the palm facing the ceiling and the bony part of your hand on the mat. And then go ahead, I invite you to lean back again. It's okay if your wrist peels off of the floor just a little bit. All we're going for is just kind of a nice stretch of the wrist. Very nice. You can release out of that. And then what I want you to do is separate your knees back out again so that they're nicely organized underneath your hips. And just curl and turn to your right, looking over your right shoulder at your right foot. Draw your belly button into your spine so you can keep your spinal alignment. But all we're doing is just a little bit of a crunch on the right and a stretching of our side body on the left. Inhale, return to center, and then on your exhale, do the same thing on the left side, curling to the left, stretching out our right side body waist, keeping our hips stationary, drawing the belly button a little bit in. Very good. And go ahead and return to neutral. Place your left hand in the center of the mat. On your inhale, lift up your right arm. Keep your hips stationary. Draw your belly button in, engaging in just a little bit of a twist. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, thread underneath your left arm and lay across your right shoulder. Draw your hips to the right so that you can keep them in alignment. And just enjoy this stretch alongside your right neck and the outside of your right shoulder. Go ahead and rise up, and let's switch sides. Inhale your left arm up. Draw your hips a little bit to the right to center them off. Take an inhale, and then on your exhale, thread underneath. Keeping your left shoulder on the floor, draw your hips slightly to the left to square them off. So whichever direction we twist in, oftentimes our hips will follow if we're not attentive to where our hips are in space. Take another inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and rise up. And let's take another cow-cat sequence. Inhale into cow. And then exhale, reverse that into cat. Let's inhale into cow. Exhale one more time into cat. And then a final inhale into cow. Exhale, return our spine to neutral. Tuck our toes and go ahead and sit back on the toes just briefly so that we can stretch out our feet. Feet are important. They are the foundation, and they are oftentimes neglected, including my own. Okay, go ahead and release out of that. Flatten out your feet, and if you're able to sit back on them, you can also sit on a block if you choose. All right, let's go ahead and rise up. Let's arrive at the top of our mat. So we're standing at the top of the mat, and let's find our Tadasana pose. So we talked earlier about the importance of posture, and if we have good posture, we have good movement of breath. It all goes together. But when you're standing in Tadasana, I invite you to first roll the crown of your head tall to the ceiling, allowing your heart center to shine up. Draw your shoulders down naturally, turn your hands forward, pull the belly button in and up, which allows your tailbone to slightly tilt down towards the floor in a more natural experience. And then I invite you so that you feel all of this moving into the back body. We have a lot of strength in the back body. Lift up all your toes and then descend your toes after your feet have made firm contact with the floor. So in Tadasana pose, it is a growing mountain. We are connecting with the earth as we are drawing energy up from the earth, all up through the midline of our body. Go ahead and inhale your hands up and exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale them down. And let's take one more inhale up. And then on your exhale, please bend your knees deeply as you lay your torso across your thighs. And we're going into a forward fold here, but it's okay to have nice, deeply bent knees. Go ahead and inhale your back straight into a half lift or half forward fold, they'll call it also in yoga. So placing your hands on your shins, draw the crown of your head forward, draw your shoulders back and down. Take an inhale, and then on your exhale, descend. Let's practice that again. Half Uttanasana, drawing the crown of your head forward, drawing your shoulders back. And then exhale, descend. And let's inhale into that flat spine again. And then exhale down. Take your right foot back and drop your knee. You can stay up high on your knee if you want and rise up. Inhale your hands up. If you want, you can exhale your hips forward. Inhale. Exhale, circle your hands down. Take your left foot back to join your right. And then let's walk our hands forward in puppy dog pose. Puppy dog pose is a nice pose to teach you about the top body alignment or extension that you will look to achieve in downward facing dog. So what I want you to do is the same action as downward dog. Press your hands into the floor, opening up the heart center and the chest, hollowing out your armpits, drawing your heart towards the floor. But at the same time, draw your belly button in slightly and keep your hips up high in the air. And so maybe to start, your forehead isn't touching the floor. Eventually it may be though. Take an inhale. On your exhale, go ahead and walk your hands back and then take your right foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, move your hips forward, opening up that left hip. Take an inhale. Exhale, circle your hands down, tuck your left toes, and bring your left foot to join your right. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale down into your forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take an inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. And then exhale, swan dive forward with bent legs, laying your torso over your knees. Drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, drop your crown again as you forward fold. Take your left foot back and drop your left knee. Go ahead and rise your hands up on the inhale. Exhale, moving your hips forward, opening up that left hip. Take an inhale. Exhale, circle your hands down. Take your right knee back to join the left, and then walk your hands forward into that puppy dog pose. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Inhale, rise up and take your feet back. And then put your left foot forward on the exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, move your hips forward, opening up your right hip. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, circle your hands down, tuck your right toes, and bring your right foot in to join the left. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale down. And I just see that our morning student has joined us. So I'm going to go ahead and pin my video so that the only person visible is me. Good morning. We are in the midst of sun salutations, so we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so back at the top of the mat again. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward, dropping our hands, dropping our crown. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale down. Take our right foot back, drop our knee. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, moving our hips forward. Inhale, rise our hands up again. Exhale, circle our hands down. Take our left knee back to join the right. Walk our hands forward in that puppy dog pose. You might find this second round of puppy dog poses, you might feel more open. Take an inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and rise up. Take our right foot forward. Inhale, rise our hands. Exhale, move our hips forward. Take an inhale. And then exhale, circle our hands down, tuck our toes, and bring our left foot to join our right. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take an inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take our left foot back and drop our knee. Inhale, rise our hands up. Exhale, move our hips forward, opening up that left hip. Take an inhale, extend your arms. Exhale, circle the hands down. Take the right knee back to join the left and walk our hands forward. Take an inhale. Take an exhale and rise up and bring our left foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, move the hips forward. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, circle them down. Tuck your right toes and bring them to join your left. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take an inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take that right foot back again, and this time we're going to do a twist. So go ahead and inhale the hands up. Exhale, bring them down to heart center. Take a nice inhale. And on your exhale, turn your body to the left, clipping your left elbow over your right, and then push your hands together and continue to turn towards the right. Twisting the body, drawing the belly button in as you engage your twist, stacking your left shoulder over your right. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Inhale, bring your hands up. Exhale, bring them down. Take your left knee to join your right. Walk your hands forward. Take a nice inhale. Take an exhale. Rise up. Bring your right foot forward. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, bring them to heart center. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, twist to your left, clipping your left elbow over your right knee, pressing your hands together, drawing your belly button in as you turn to the right. Draw your right shoulder back and bring your left shoulder forward. Take another inhale. And then on your exhale, go ahead, place your hands down, tuck your left toes to bring the foot forward to join the right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Now we're going to repeat that on the left side. Take an inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, bend your legs deeply as you swan dive forward. Drop your crown. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale down. Take your left foot back and drop your knee. Inhale, rise your hands up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Take an inhale. And exhale, we'll twist to the left again. And then we're going to twist to the right next time. And go ahead and engage the same alignment, drawing the right shoulder back and twisting to the left, drawing your belly button in. And just allow your eye gaze to naturally follow the pattern of the movement of your head. So I'm drawing the crown of my head forward, which really means my eye gaze is sort of not fully behind me, but I'm kind of looking at the corner of the wall behind me. Take an inhale. Exhale, undo your twist and inhale all the way up. And then exhale, hands down to heart center, down to the floor. Bring your right knee to join the left. Walk your hands forward in that puppy dog pose again. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Inhale, rise up, walking your hands back. Take your left foot forward. Inhale, rise your hands up. Exhale, bring them down to heart center. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, go ahead and engage your twist, clipping your right arm over your left knee, drawing your belly button in as you engage in your twist. Draw your shoulder back, your left shoulder back, your right shoulder forward. And breathe deeply. One more inhale. Exhale, face forward, unbind out of your twist. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, circle your hands down, tuck your right toes, bring the right foot to join the left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. That was really nice. Nice cycle of 3 of those. So let's go ahead and find our way down to the floor. And let's do, because I always like to encourage opening up of the side body. It's not specific to this breath, but it does connect us to our lower body in the spirit of this mudra. So go ahead in the center of your mat, facing the camera, go ahead and stand on your knees. Take your right leg out to the side as we set up for a sequence of gait and supported bridge, okay? So with that right foot extended out to the side, go ahead and rise our hands up into warrior two position. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, go ahead and descend down into that supported bridge. Left hand on the floor, right hand overhead. And just enjoy that. And maybe you want to open it up a little bit if that's available to you. Depends on how open your body might feel this morning. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Take an inhale. Fully exhale. And then take one more inhale. Exhale, rise up, and then go ahead and descend so that your right hand is resting on your left leg, and bring your left arm up overhead. Well, right hand on right leg, I'm sorry. This may feel like enough of a stretch, and if you want to increase it, you can continue to move your left hand in the direction of your right foot. So this is gate pose. Just inhale and exhale deeply in this pose. One more inhale. Exhale, rise up into those warrior two arms. And now we're going to alternate back and forth using the inhale and the exhale. So inhale down. And then exhale, rise up, placing our right hand on our right leg. Inhale, left hand down, right arm up. Exhale, rising up, placing our right hand on our right leg, drawing our left arm to the right. Inhale, rise up and descend our left hand down. And then exhale, rise up and descend our right hand down. And then return to warrior two arms. Place your hands on your waist and bring your right knee in to join the left. Go ahead and extend your left leg out. And then just go ahead and find a nice tall posture in that. So did you see the change in my body? I started off like this, and then I rose up. Whenever you do that, you're lifting out of your hips. You're lifting up your heart center. Take our arms to warrior two. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, descend your right hand down. Draw your left hand up towards the ceiling. If you want, you could start to open up the chest a little bit by drawing that left arm back, maybe slightly drawing your hips forward. But be careful, this is our morning gentle yoga, and we try not to overextend first thing in the morning. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take an inhale. And then exhale, rise up. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Descend left arm to left leg. Bring your right arm up, and maybe even drawing it in the same direction as your left foot. This is gate pose. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, rise up to warrior two arms. Take an inhale. And now we're going to do the alternating breathing as we move. Inhale. Fully exhale. Inhale, drop your right arm, lifting up your left arm. Exhale, rise up, placing your left arm on your left leg, raising up your right arm and drawing it to the other side of the body. Inhale, drop your right arm to the floor, or right hand rather, lifting up your left hand. And then exhale, reversing that, dropping your left hand to your left leg, drawing your right hand towards your left foot. One more time. Inhale, drop your right hand to the floor, left hand to the ceiling. And then on your exhale, rise up, put your left hand on your left leg, and draw your right hand towards your right foot. And then go ahead and rise up on your inhale. Place your hands on your hips as you exhale and bring your left knee in. And then go ahead and sit back, widen your feet, your legs rather, keep your toes together, and we're going to move forward into child's pose. Stretching out the back of our hips and just enjoying this nice, restorative, relaxing pose. We talked about poses that facilitate digestion earlier in the class. Well, this is also another one that facilitates digestion. And one of the reasons that it facilitates digestion is that it encourages us to calm our nervous system. And you further encourage that by placing your forehead on the mat while you're in this pose. And when we calm the nervous system, we also calm the nerves of our digestive system. And so by calming them down, we limit, spasmosity that you may experience that can lead to cramping and discomfort and loss of motility in your digestive tract. And allows those smooth muscles to relax and allows things to pass with ease. Take a nice long inhale. Fully exhale, rise up slightly. Take your left arm and thread it underneath your right arm. And we did this twist earlier, but now we're doing this twist in child's pose. One more inhale. Exhale, rise up, switch sides. Place your left hand in front, thread your right arm underneath, laying across your right shoulder. Inhale and exhale deeply. One more inhale. I lied, one more. And then exhale, go ahead and rise up and go ahead and return your hands back to your legs. And then let's go ahead and set up for the easy seated twist. Arda, Matsi, Andrasana. Go ahead and take our left foot, curl it underneath our right hip. And if it's available to you, take your right foot and cross it over your left leg. So initially just sit here and get used to this experience of sitting on your mat this way. Try to have both of your sit bones in contact with the floor. So if you need to move the flesh out to allow them to be a little bit exposed, that's perfectly okay. Go ahead and place your right hand on the floor behind you. Take your left arm up alongside your ear. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, turn your body to the left. Clip your left arm around your right knee. Now you can leave it straight down if you want. That's one thing that people choose to do, or you can bend it up. Either way that works good for you. Some people also like to just wrap their arm around the leg as they twist. I invite you to do whatever it is you want to do. Today I'm taking this variation with my elbow bent and my hand up. And as you engage in your twist, you're going to inhale the crown of your head up, and then exhale, moving into the twist by drawing your right shoulder back. Take an inhale. Exhale, draw your shoulder back. Inhale. And exhale, draw that shoulder back. Inhale, return to neutral, and let's swap out our legs. So we're going to put our right foot underneath our left hip, draw our right foot to the outside of our left thigh, sit up nice and tall, making sure that both of our sit bones, as much as possible, are both in contact with the floor. Place our left hand behind us, rise our right arm up alongside our left ear, and then twist to the left, clipping your right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Take a nice long inhale. And then on your exhale, start to engage in your twist, drawing your left shoulder back. Make sure that you're spine is beautifully extended. Inhale, draw the crown of your head up. And then exhale, draw your left shoulder back. Take one more inhale. Exhale, engage deeply in your twist. And then on your inhale, return forward. And let's go ahead and take one last pose before we begin to head into our Shavasana for the morning. And this is bound angle. So your bound angle can be all the way out in the front, or it can be closer to the body, whatever your preference is this morning. But I want you to make sure, of course, that your sits bones are in firm contact with the floor. So that can involve just moving your flesh a little bit away from your buttocks and allowing those 2 points that we sit on to join the floor. And then what I like to do is I like to draw my shoulders down, lifting up my heart center. And that does involve kind of bending my elbows a little bit, and I'm holding my ankles instead of my feet. Because as I've said, this time of the day, I'm a little stiff, and you know, we're just encouraging the hips to slightly open. So then what I want you to do is kind of push the soles of your feet together and then draw your knees down at the same time as you lift up your heart center. So we're kind of moving our hips forward just a little bit when we do this, kind of lifting off of those sit bones slightly, pushing our feet together, drawing our shoulders down, and kind of making this a bit of a strengthening pose. Opening up our hips in a way maybe that we haven't before by using muscle strength to do it. Take one more inhale, and then exhale. You can go ahead and release that. And now we're going to make our way into Shavasana. So I'm going to choose the variation of legs up the wall. You can choose whatever variation you want. You can have your feet up on a chair. You can be laying flat on your back. I encourage you to do whatever you will find most restorative and comfortable this morning. So if you haven't, other viewers, if you have not had your legs up the wall, this is a really, really lovely, lovely way to go into Shavasana. One, it allows you to have full support of your sacrum and your lower back where it meets the floor. So it takes a little bit of pressure out of that lower spine that you might experience when you're laying in Shavasana, but also reversing your blood flow is really, really healthy for your vascular system. And it allows all the blood to come back to the middle of the body. So it's really very calming and very comforting. So find whatever position you would like your hands to be in. You can rest them gently on your tummy. You can lay your hands down alongside your body. But whatever you do, make sure that you leave some room for your shoulders, for your neck. So sometimes I'll just tuck my shoulders a little bit underneath my torso so that there's space for my neck to maintain its natural curve while I'm laying here in Shavasana. Go ahead, and I invite you to start to settle in. Close your eyes. And draw your attention back to the breath like we did at the beginning. And breathe in and out using your belly for your breath and not your chest. And then I want you to scan your body and look for points where your breathing might be halted or stuck. Make whatever adjustments you need to reopen that energy channel and to relax the body and make it supple so that you can breathe freely and deeply. Starting with the crown of your head, release the tension on the skin of your head. And then moving down to the forehead, smooth out the muscles of the forehead. Soften your eyebrows and soften the way your eyes sit in their socket. Continuing to move down, relax the muscles of your face. Relax the skin above your ears. Relax your jawline. And start to concentrate on your neck, encouraging the neck to be soft, holding no tension, front and back. Moving into your collarbones, allow them to float down and wide. Allow your shoulders to sink more deeply into the floor. Relax all of the muscles across the chest. And as you continue to descend down, relax your upper arms. Relax your ribs and allow them to fall more deeply into the floor. Relax all of your solar plexus muscles and relax your forearms. As you continue to descend down, relax your lower back into the floor. Feel the strength of the floor supporting your lower spine. Soften your lower belly and relax your hips. Relax the palms of your hands and all of your fingers. Continuing to move down, relax your thighs, your upper thighs, middle, and relax the space above your knees. Continue to relax your kneecaps, your shins, and your calf muscles. And then draw that relaxing energy to the ankles, relaxing your tops of your feet, your arches, and all of your toes. And as you lay here in Shavasana, I invite you to meditate upon your breath. Meditate upon drawing your breath down into the lower lobes of your lungs, filling up your entire body cavity with nourishing air. Air that we use to carry out intentional acts. Air that we use to maximize our lung capacity and fully oxygenate our bodies and our brain. Remembering that the breath is life. Breath is pranayama. Prana is energy. The breath is moving energy. And because you can choose cleansing breaths, such as the breath of fire, you can purify before you settle into deep breathing if you choose. And so you can move energy that you consider cleaner energy, more pure energy. And then out of that, you can establish intention. So yesterday, I took a picture of the rising sun just as I woke. And I asked people, with this new day, what was their intention? And I was very pleased with what types of responses I got back. Some people said to tackle everything with a mindset of positivity. One person said to connect more with God and to seek wisdom and grace in how she carries out her relationship with her children. Lots of people said work, work, work. A lot of people said slow down and enjoy my day. So I invite you today to put out your intention with our new day, what you want to do with your day. Continue to lay here in Shavasana for up to 5 minutes. 4 more. So our next class is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. We're going to continue with this theme, so you will see more twisting poses in that class, but it will be a traditional Hatha Vinyasa flow. And then we also will carry this energy, this intention through this theme to our Saturday morning power yoga class at the Treasure Boxing Company. I want to applaud you and thank you for rising early for yoga, giving back to yourself, setting up your day for a good day. The light in me sees the light in you. The yogi in me honors the yogi in you. Namaste.